Yes, back with a new commander deck. This time it is Grixis colored with a focus on black. I'm not that good at building with black. Black, green, and red are weaknesses for me. I'm a classical white-blue control kind of player from the get-go, but sometimes I feel that I want to challenge myself. This used to be Nicol Bolas tribal deck, but I got rid of the Bolas. Nowadays it's just Crosis. Um, it's just to enable the Grixis colors and to have some naughty commander in case you have a real need to cost a commander. Is really just there for the colors. This is, I admit, a kind of backwater. This is a kind of deck where I just put stuff when when I feel like it's not the best kind of thought through deck at times, but I still feel that it has a very evil kind of feel that it should have because it's Grixis being the maybe most evil color combination in Magic. Therefore, I have certain things that I've tried to keep up with, and that's some themes. Spectres. I have a couple of, if not actually quite a lot of specters, um, all of which do very naughty things. Let's see here. Each opponent discards a card. This one doesn't say that everyone, but I think it's random. So that's always naughty. Mortality, something minus minus. Yes, but you may exile one or more cards. No, it's a specter. This one discards when you hit them, and it has haste. Very nice, very nice. This one just does it as an adventure, the discarding part, and also rewards you with flying. It's not that often that you play it, but at least it discards. Oh my god, it's another discarding specter. Who would have thought? Yeah, I think it rewards you if they have no cards in hand, and it discards if you hit. Uh, this one has unearth, and yeah, it discards. This one discards when it enters, and a very naughty effect. If you keep discarding, they lose life. And of course, maybe the most important of them all, Hypnotic Spectre, uh, where you force them to discard at random. And I've always tried to focus on the M10 effect because it has a very beautiful, completely functional flavor text. You can actually notice that in certain other editions, sometimes the flavor text is off by one letter or so, or maybe the word shattered is on the first line, or ice is on the second. I don't know. But in the M10 version, the flavor text is perfect. Its victims are known by their eyes, shattered vessels, leaking broken dreams. I don't like it, but I love it because of how evil it is. So that's one of the themes to make it evil. I have more. Obviously, you need some counter spells in an evil Grixis deck, but how do you make the counter spells even more evil? Well, you force them to mill. You mill when you counter. You mill when you counter. Mill when counter. Mill when counter, and I think mill when counter. So that's it's a nice sub theme to make it feel even more evil. Another sub theme being to further like punish and further punish and further punish. So like there are a lot of punishing effects in the deck. I don't love this, but as I keep saying, it's fun to build outside of the box sometimes. There are several functions that I would never have played in another kind of deck because I honestly feel that some of these arts are pretty disturbing, but it fits in an evil deck. I would never have shown like a sad planeswalker dying, I think, except for in a deck like this. Uh, I can never really get myself around in other decks to sacrifice creatures. I something in my gut that just tells me that's wrong. But here it works, and just Eldrazi is throwing stuff around, uh, pulling stuff violently up from graveyards and forcing it to fight. Yes, that's something that this deck would do. Again, I could this just the art. I mean, I hate it. It's who would ever choose to have this art in their deck unless it was a Grixis deck. Uh, like, oh my god, no, no, no. I obviously can't really play with this. Um, Again, gain control of stuff. He is very naughty. Can actually be very annoying. Very annoying. Um, Crosis Charm because it's a Crosis deck. Um, yeah, that just some generic evil things. And obviously you need some planeswalkers. I like the fact that Davriel is trying to hide his name because he lore-wise doesn't really want to be found out. um, Obnixilis, the Hate Twisted, just your ordinary evil planeswalker. Yes. And Vraska to reward the specters for attacking. Actually, a rather strong. I mean, obviously it's 6 mana, it's a precon, but I've always thought that she was a rather solid planeswalker. And now to the coup de grace. Yes, I can speak a bit of French. I feel that you must have some kind of like something that makes it feel good to be evil. This card is a favorite of mine that I've been playing for years. Ogre of Skulls. He gets in, you sacrifice him in your upkeep, and some poor player gets to discard 2 cards. It's not a good card in any way. It's a really silly card, but I love it. It's just the flavor text. Within each empty skull, it seeks ways to preserve its own failing undeath. There's something very sad about this creature, as if he's desperate to try to maintain his undeath. The classical theme that I think a lot of liches should kind of underscore is that they're desperate. I love it. It's even in black cards that they can have a lot of cool flavor. Mind Drain, some vampire on Zendikar, I think. A lot of good stuff too, like discard 2 cards, mill a card, lose a life, you gain a life, all for 3 mana. Yes, please. And the meal was exquisite. The conversation less so. Like I love that many vampires tend to be snobs. And then like it's not a specter as such, Elderfang Disciple, but it does almost a specter things. I threw it in here. Ancient Craving. Knowledge demands sacrifice. Yes, yes, that's something that black would do. It would draw cards and hurt you for it. That feels properly black. Harrowing Journey does basically the same thing, and some cool flavor text from Oldradstein. Just gives you the kind of sense of urgency that someone is really just trying to get somewhere very, very fast. And a favorite of mine, which will end this, Dark Bargain. It's been reprinted in some other set, maybe it was Ikoria. Just look at these 2 happy demons. There's actually a demon sitting somewhere in here too, but I don't think you can see it. And this demon just, hello, hello, please buy my stuff. And the knight here is just like, what, okay, yeah, maybe. And the flavor text always gets me happy. I have pushed you to the great very sheep. No? Surely you want a tincture of Nero's perverse remains. I imagine that's how the demon would say it. I love that sometimes black can give a very almost soulful feel. I don't mind playing this card in happier decks. It doesn't show up there right now, but I try to shunt it in sometimes. It feels like an adventure. So, like, even though you might get a bad feel in your gut when you play certain decks, um, I I think it's good to try. I intentionally always avoid playing Phyrexians. I don't think I play Phyrexians at all. If I do, it's accidental. I hardly touch on Eldrazi's except for sometimes for specific reasons and sometimes in competitive Magic. But it's fun to play around and challenge yourself creatively. It's good to pause the soul.